Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and this is going to be our new beginner's guide for 2024 in No Man's Sky. So a lot of things change, a lot of updates come out for No Man's Sky, and so I like to go through every year and kind of do a beginning to end playthrough of the game, kind of give you tips, things that would work for a brand new player if you are just jumping into the game, or maybe you haven't played in a long time and you're like, dude, I just need to start over and figure out what's going on. Hopefully this series will help you with that. So, as always, let's jump in here. I have all my stuff here. We beat the Omega Expedition a lot, but we're not going to do any of that stuff. We're doing a regular playthrough. We're going to do a new game on normal mode. If you want to do relaxed, that's really, really fun. Some people like doing survival or extreme. You can do that as well. Or go make a custom game so you can change any of these settings you'd like. So if you like everything to be normal except you don't want to worry about combat, you can just turn all the combat settings down to like basically 0, passive, if you'd like. Or if you just want to make sure you have like no tutorial or inventory transfer between you and your ships, you can turn that on. Whatever you'd like to do. I'm just going to do a normal playthrough. The average experience, most people do a normal playthrough whenever they start No Man's Sky, especially when you start out. I would suggest a normal playthrough. Not too hard, not too easy. It kind of gives you the intended experience, the experience that the developers wanted you to have. And so hopefully you guys are interested, enjoying it. I am really interested in getting in here. We've had some changes to like the Atlas path. If you don't know about that, we'll talk about that when we get there. I'm going to try not to do any spoilers just in case you are a brand new player. I don't want to spoil anything that's coming up. I will be reading and explaining and going through all of the text that you run into in the storyline. We will be doing the storyline, the main storyline, which is the Artemis storyline. We will be doing that when we start out. So just a heads up for everybody. If you're a veteran player and you're like, I don't want this, that's okay. I understand. Some people, they're like, dude, I play this game all the time. I just want the tips and tricks. This is going to be more of a beginner-focused series for you. So let's do begin initialization.
Commencing Atlas system suit initialization.
So when the game starts up, you literally wake up on a random planet. Your planet might be different. You will be different than mine, probably. It won't be, you know, sometimes it's a radiation, like, hazard planet. Sometimes it's a cold one, like this one. Sometimes it's a hot one. But you're just waking up, like, what the heck is going on? And you're just randomly thrown out on a planet somewhere. And there are so many planets in No Man's Sky that no one will ever have been here. This will be the planet that you find, you discover. And so this is all of your systems coming back online.
Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational. User initialization sequence complete.
So this is your character. Now, a lot of people don't know, but you start off in third person by default. You can switch to first person if you'd like. We have a quick access menu in No Man's Sky. So if you press down on your D-pad, it'll bring up this little quick menu at the bottom of the screen right here. If you're on a PC, that would be the C button. I believe it's C button. Oh god, it's been a while since I played PC. Nope, not C. It's X. X button, sorry. It's been a while since I played keyboard and mouse. So X would do that. Either way, you have a menu that comes up at the bottom of the screen. And if you go over here to the gear icon, the utility icon, you have a whole bunch of different options here. Don't worry about that. Go to the character little like a figure right here. It says toggle camera view. And now we're in first person. Now, I will tell you that No Man's Sky was made with first person in mind. So a lot of things work better when you're in first person. I prefer to use third person, so I will always be, you know, running around on foot like this. I like seeing my character because then you can see like how far the ground is away from you. Things like that. There's also things on your indicators on your backpack that you can use. So you'll see there's two lights on my backpack. There's a red bar on the left side and a blue bar on the right side. You see that ring right there? The red side, the left side, is your hazard protection. That is your protection against the elements, whether that is a hot planet, cold planet, whatever. It's generalized protection. Your blue side on the right, that is your life support. So as you're going around, you're going to run out of life support. That is your breathing apparatus, your energy, that kind of stuff. You'll slowly drain that, and you need to recharge it every once in a while. But you don't have to worry about looking at like a menu or anything because it's right there on your back, which I love. But if you press left on your D-pad, it'll bring up everything here. So your life is at the top left-hand side of the screen. Your hazard protection will be at the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Right now, we're covered, so we're not using our hazard protection. We're in a cave. If you see a cave, I would highly suggest jumping in there because it helps you out. But as you see, if we get out in the wilderness, you see that white bar? Now it's a blue bar down there. That means I'm freezing. I am starting to get really, really cold, and it'll slowly drain over time. So, you know, it might take a few minutes before I really start taking damage. So you're okay for that. And you can upgrade all this stuff later on, but we're not worried about that yet. So let's find a cave and hang out. If you don't find a cave, that's fine too. Just make sure you get these yellow plants. There should be little yellow plants all over the place. Pick them up. But if you find a cave, there's these cool stalactites, and they give you what's called cobalt. These are all your building materials. Just like in any other survival game, you're gonna need to get some stuff. Like in Minecraft, you have to pick up wood, that way you can start building. In No Man's Sky, it's gonna be things like cobalt or carbon or ferrite dust. That's what you get out of stones. That kind of stuff. So we're gonna pop all of these and get a whole bunch of cobalt because we can use that to make a battery to help with our hazard protection. Because if you're out in the elements and there's no cave, there's no protection for you, it'll drain it, but you can recharge it with a battery or with certain other recharge materials. Sodium, that would be the yellow plants. That'll help you recharge your hazard protection. Now, you see at the bottom right-hand side of the screen, it gives you your current mission. It says, hey, look, you need to fix your stuff. You have broken broken upgrades in your suit, broken technologies. So if you press your menu button right here, that would be select if you're on a controller, tab if you're on a PC, it'll bring up your menu. So this is our backpack. We have our technology upgrade section. This is where all your technology upgrades go. So we have a jetpack, we have our hazard protection, we have our life support. This is what drains whenever you're breathing on a weird atmosphere. But then you have your cargo. This is all the stuff you have in your backpack, everything you pick up. So we've been picking up a lot of cobalt, but we also picked up a geode. You will randomly get these by breaking stones, and so you can just crack these open. You can analyze it by pressing X, and it will give you random objects depending on what you broke. So I broke a whole bunch of cobalt rocks, cobalt stone. So if I open this one up, it should give me cobalt or something like cobalt. It gave me more cobalt. There you go. If you're breaking regular rocks that are out on the ground, they will give you ferrite dust. If you get a geode from that, it'll give you more ferrite dust randomly. But you'll notice this is not the only menu. We have our suit. We also have our starship. This is our starship menu. It's the inventory is set up the same way. You have your technology section at the top. This is where all your technology upgrades go. And then you have your cargo, which is basically your storage for all your items. You cannot mix and match. You cannot put your regular items into your technology upgrades. Same thing for your suit. If I tried to put any of this over here, you can't do it. You cannot put it in your technology. You can only keep it in your backpack. And then finally, we have our multi-tool. This is our weapon slash tool that we use for No Man's Sky. You can upgrade this. You can add it. You can get new ones if you'd like. So we have a C-class upgrade, or C-class weapon. That's what you start out with. But you can, later on, you'll find ones that are like A-class, which is higher, or B, or an S. S is the best you can get. So later on, we could do that. But you'll notice we have a broken scanner right here. Our scanner is broken. We have to find ferrite dust to fix it. So ferrite dust is going to be in any random regular stone that you run across that's on the ground. So as you hover over things, you'll see it highlights and says, oh, unidentified mineral. It has ferrite dust in it. So if we break it open, we'll get ferrite dust. Very, very cool. Easy enough, right? As we need to collect 75 of those, that way we can fix our scanner. And every technology, when it breaks, because it will break eventually, if you take too much damage, it'll start breaking stuff. It might break your jetpack. It might break your hazard protection. and you'll need to fix it. And every time you hover over that object, it'll tell you you need these items to fix it. So now, and you see that big old box, that's your tutorial box right there. That'll tell you, hey, this is what you need to do next. Repair your scanner. All right, so let's hover over it. And if you click on it, it'll take you into where your scanner is, and it just says, hey, you need 75 ferrite dust. We have it, so we're going to repair. Done and done. Easy enough, right? And so now we have a scanner, so we can scan our environment to see what's around us. And we need to find sodium, which is a yellow plant that'll help us with our hazard protection. So let's scan. And as you look around, you'll see like a yellow box that says, or a yellow diamond that says Na, that's sodium rich. H, that's dihydrogen, that's another material. You'll find condensed carbon crystals right there. You'll find oxygen. There's tons of stuff all over the place. Right here, we have a sodium-rich plant, but we also have that glowing mineral right there. That is a deposit of metals. Usually that's going to be a copper. Sometimes you'll find sodium. You'll find paraffinium. It's a deposit of material in the earth. But you can't get that yet because we need to upgrade our multi-tool. So now we just need to look for that sodium plant we just found. There it is. Let's pick it up. And now we can use it to recharge our hazard protection. So press down to go into your quick menu. And there's a big bar here of all kinds of stuff here. We have photo mode, so you can take a picture of anything, which is really, really cool. So it's very, very powerful. I'm not a very good photographer in video games, but I mean, there's plenty of people that are very talented that can deal with this. But it allows you, it basically pauses the game. The game is paused. You're not going to get damaged or anything like that. You are good to go. The only time it will not pause is if you're in multiplayer. Like if we have another player around, you don't pause for everybody because, you know, if I'm in photo mode and they are not, what are you going to do? So it does not pause when you're in multiplayer. But if you're solo, it'll stop everything. And so you can kind of look around the place. You can also move the sun if you want to get a better shot because it's all paused. This is really, really cool. I love this. It's a really, really powerful photo mode. Anyway, there's your photo mode. But we also have a recharge equipment section where anything that needs to be recharged is on this bar. And if you have the materials, it'll highlight it. So we have hazard protection materials. That's the sodium, the yellow plant we just picked up. Let's recharge it. We're good. All right. So now at this point, I would suggest kind of run around and collect stuff. So now we know where our distress signal's from. This is where our ship is, right over there. So that's where our ship is, our crashed ship. Now it is broken. So we're going to need materials in order to fix it. So I would always, I would suggest pick up everything you can. Your limits in normal mode are 9,000 for your normal material. So I have 197 cobalt. I can get 9,999. So don't be afraid of picking up too much. Don't worry about that. If you pick up too much, they'll tell you. So don't worry about it. Just make sure to pick up as much as you possibly can. Because it'll help you later on when you develop more advanced materials or more advanced equipment. You'll need more advanced materials. Let's get all these blue crystals here. The dihydrogen. And we're also going to look around for plants because we need to get some carbon as well. We're trying to get a combination of everything. What is that over there? There's something over there, huh? There we go. We have a plant right here. Unidentified carbon. So another thing, you have a basic upgrade scheme, blueprints in your inventory. So go back in your inventory. If you hover over an open spot, you'll see it says craft products. So we know the basics. We know how to make some stuff, but not everything. And as you progress in the game, they will teach you more advanced materials. But right now, we know how to make basic stuff. What I would highly suggest, go over to your multi-tool. There's also basic upgrades you can install as well. So, like we have a personal force field. This is a shield you put up in case an enemy is shooting you. We have a bolt caster. That's a basic weapon you got. And we have an analysis visor. I would suggest making this. So if you want to, select where you want to put it. We want to put it in this corner right here, this little box. Install the analysis visor. But we don't have the materials to make it. So we don't have this carbon nanotube, which kind of sucks. So let's back out. So it'll stay there. It says, hey, look, you have it halfway installed. You just need to finish it off by putting the materials it needs inside of it. So we need to make a carbon nanotube. So if we check our recipes in our suit, you'll notice we have a carbon nanotube recipe. We also have like batteries here. We have metal plating. That'll come later on. There's all this cool stuff, but there is carbon nanotubes. We need 50 carbon. That comes from plants. So let's make that. So now we have it. Yeah, we have one. Let's go back over to our multi-tool and install it. So now we have a visor. We basically have binoculars so we can look around. And they give you information. So I can scan this animal. It'll, if right now it says, question marks. We don't know. We've never scanned this animal before. So let's scan it by holding down the right trigger. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you're on a controller, hit your left trigger, and that is going to be for your visor. There we go. And then if we hit our right trigger while we're holding down the left trigger, it'll actually scan these awesome animals. And look at that. You get money, and it says View Discovery. So we've discovered an animal. You go into your pause menu, go over to your discoveries. You'll notice we have our plants, which is flora, fauna, which is animals, and minerals, which are like the stones that you find all around. We go into our fauna. That's our first one. So there we go. We found that animal. We can rename it and we can upload it to the server. So when you upload it to the server, it goes to the No Man's Sky servers, and anyone else who plays No Man's Sky and is connected to the servers, if they come to this planet, like if I go to your planet right now, or if you come to mine and I rename this one, let's rename it. Let's rename it Rocky Crab. So now it's been uploaded. So now, if you come to this planet right now, you'll see Rocky Crab and what day it was discovered by Jason Plays. And that is forever. If you come back a year from now, 5 years from now, you'll see I found this on February 19th. February 19th, I found it. There you are. So it's really, really cool. But the other thing is our multi-tool, the charge is depleted. We're out of charge, so we need to recharge it. Again, go back in your down to get to your quick menu. Go here, and then it says, it highlights. It says 0%. We have no charge on that. So if you select it, it'll ask you, hey, you can use any of these materials to recharge it, but I don't have any phosphorus. I don't have any condensed carbon. Now, the only thing I have is carbon. That's why it's highlighted, so I will use carbon. It always benefits you to use the more advanced materials. But if you only have the basic stuff, that's all you got, so you might as well use what you got. The other thing you can do with minerals or with your visor is you can scan everything, not just animals. You can scan everything. And there's a benefit to doing that. Like you see this mineral right here, this rock. It says unidentified mineral, and it says ferrite dust underneath that, but then it also has analyzed with question marks. If you scan this, it will give you a secondary material. So I'll get ferrite dust and I will get something else. So let's scan this rock real fast. And now if I look at it, it'll give me ferrite dust and dihydrogen. So I get two materials, but only if you scan it. So it always works in your benefit to scan as much as you can. And it makes sense because if you scan it, you get paid money. You basically get paid for all of your discoveries. Everything you scan, you get paid for. So definitely do that. It's a really, really good way to make money early. You don't make a lot of money, but you do get some. Like, it only is paying me $200. That's very little in No Man's Sky. However, it adds up. If you scan a whole bunch of stuff, that's $200 for each one. If you scan 100 of them, that's $2,000. That ends up being a lot. Oh, but then we have a plant right here. Again, same thing. Unidentified plant. We have not scanned it yet, but it has carbon and something else in there. So let's scan it and see what we get out of it. And we get carbon and oxygen. Two good building block materials. So yeah, we got that. So we're just going to go around here. We're going to scan everything. We're also going to grab it all too, because we're going to need a lot of materials to fix our ship. Our ship is broken. The broadcast is coming from a broken ship. So we're going to need a lot of materials to fix it. The other thing is, when you use your multi-tool, you can overheat it. Like if you use it for too long, it gets hot. You'll see the heat warning. You see that? If it overheats, it'll force you to cool it down. So it'll stop you from using it. If you overheat, like watch this, it'll stop me. And boom. So now I can't use it. It's only for a couple seconds, but If you're in the heat of battle, that matters. So you don't want it to overheat. But the other thing is, a hot laser does more damage than a cold one. So if I try to do this rock right now, you see how it's taking a little bit of time to break it down? The hotter my laser get, look at that. It gets faster and faster and faster. So there is a weird, like, you want it to be hot, but you don't want it to overheat. So you want to keep it warm. That way you destroy the materials way faster. So look at that. Boom, it's getting real. Oh, I overdid it. Dang it. So yeah, there's a weird game of keep it hot, but not too hot. All right. And then randomly, you'll see these little cargo drops, these little red boxes. These are randomly spread all over the planet. There's hundreds and hundreds of these all over the place. These will give you randomized materials. So if you open it up, I just got condensed carbon out of there. That's really good. I got sodium out of that one. And then I get, what is it? Condensed carbon out of that one. Really, really cool. So if you ever run across these, there's no harm in picking it up. The white box is more of a first aid kit. Also, if you pull out your visor and look at it, it has a first aid kit mark on it. So that's how you know, hey, if you're damaged or if you took any health hits, you can just open that up and it'll recharge you. But it says, sorry, you have full health. You don't need it. Well, we burned it anyway. So it's not like it won't use it. It will use it, but it'll tell you, hey, you actually didn't need that, man. What are you doing? So let's come over here to our cool emergency source over here. And as we're going along, let's grab some more materials. We've been grabbing a lot of rocks, so let's look for some plants. I need to get some plants. And I mean, you can kill the animals, so be careful of that. I mean, unless you want to be evil. You can if you want to. So if you want to, you could totally kill the animals. They will give you pieces as well. They will give you meat that you can use. But, I mean, yeah, you don't want to be a jerk, so don't be a jerk. At least not yet. Maybe later on. Some animals, they will get aggressive with you. You'll walk by and the animal will attack you. In that case, okay, sure. If it's a jerk animal, then you have to be a jerk back. But these animals are just trying to live their life, so I just tend to generally leave them alone. Not always, not always. Sometimes you need to take out some animals because you need the materials they give you. All right, oh, look at, there's our ship over here. Looking around, look at all this stuff. Look how beautiful this game is. So let's pop in over here. Now the marker is on our ship, but there's also a marker over here on this signal source. What is that? It looks like this is basically a broadcast, an emergency beacon. So something's going on here. Iteration, and that's a long number. Scenario, iteration, something deleted. Boundary separation failure likely. Vessel 16 emptied. Cause? Sentinel intervention. Deliberate transfer. Analysis. Fresh iteration generated. Anomaly containment prepared. Okay. Now you get a choice. You can leave or you can do a broadcast. We're going to broadcast. Broadcast received. Traveler anomaly detected. Anomaly is compliant. Position logged. System integrity scan initialized. So something's going on. We are a traveler, I guess. That's what they're calling you. Traveler. So we activated a broadcast and we are compliant. So we did what they told us to do. And then you'll see there's different boxes. We have a yellow one here. We have this tube here, but it says Atlas Pass version 1, volume 1, required, level 1 required. If you try to open it, it says, sorry, you need an Atlas Pass. So these are more advanced containers that have more advanced items in them, but we need a clearance card in order to unlock them. And then you have these damage containers. They are going to have junk on the outside, but you can pick this up and you can refine this later on if you'd like. I would say don't worry about this. It's marked as junk. You can get rid of it. So we can discard it or we can pick it up and put it in our inventory. Either one works. Again, you don't really need it. There's always going to be someone who says, well, you could turn it into this thing or that thing. It's like, yes, that's true, but you cannot usually get the other materials quicker than using this to get it. So I will junk it. There we go. And then we have this, damaged machinery. If you open these are randomly spread throughout the planet. Again, there's hundreds of these. But if you open it, Again, there's junk in here. You can refine this if you'd like. I always just get rid of it because there's easier and faster ways to get the materials. But you can pick it up if you'd like. And we got nanites. So that is your introduction to the different monies of No Man's Sky. You have units, which is basically like your cash. You have nanites, which is an upgraded version. It's a more rare currency. And then you have Quicksilver, which is the rarest currency, and you only get a little bit of Quicksilver at a time. Quicksilver is very special. When you get Quicksilver, it's really important, so I wouldn't spend it unless you... well, we'll talk about that later on, but Quicksilver is the rarest money. The nanites are the medium. Those are special for upgrades, and then the cash is just for a lot of different stuff. That's basically like your universal money that you can spend on most anything. Now let's get in our ship. Let's see what the heck is going on here. Iteration long number online. Atlas connection intermittent. Launch thrusters offline. Pulse engine offline. I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But at least this ship seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least that of my exosuit. I'm not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. We need to read the log. What the heck happened here? Log 4925A, unavailable. Substituting data. Exosuit, connected. Suggestion, pilot should perform maintenance. Select desired path. Well, we need to repair our ship, so let's do it. Self-guided repair protocols initiated. Critical damage. Critical engine damage. So we have to find these items. Technology is critically damaged. We need a hermetic seal and we need metal plating. So that's what we need. Let's get out. So what's our first thing? What's our first order? Let's look at our ship. So if you hover over it, it'll tell you what you need. A hermetic seal, metal plating. We can't make any of those, so let's move on. Launch thruster. We need pure ferrite and dihydrogen jelly. So do we have any of those? Let's look. We can make we can make a metal plating. We have the 50 ferrite dust. So let's make a metal plating. Do we have a hermetic seal? We do not. Do we have a we don't have anything really. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any building materials. Okay. So we need... Oh, wait, we have a jelly, but we don't have enough. See, we need 40 of the dihydrogen to make a jelly. So if you look around, the dihydrogen is going to be a blue crystal. If you use your scanner, we fixed our scanner before. Let's look around. Dihydrogen is everywhere. So the blue H is your dihydrogen. We have some over here. I'm doing a what we call a jetpack jump, or a boost, a jetpack boost. So in No Man's Sky, you do have a jetpack. You can just use your jetpack, but it's limited until you get more upgrades. You're not going to be able to use it a lot. So, and then it needs time to recharge. So, what you can do is you do a combination of jetpack and your melee attack, and it pushes your shoulder forward, and it makes you lean forward. That way, when you do your jetpack, you're leaning forward, your jetpack is straight back. So it propels you forward. It's a really, really cool move. And something that you want to get used to doing. It takes a little time to get the timing down, but it's very, very useful for running around the planet. So, as you run, you want to hit your melee, put your shoulder forward like that. You see that motion? You want that to happen because once your shoulder is forward and you activate your jetpack, you basically get boosted out off the ground. So let's try that. So right after, you do melee attack and then jetpack immediately afterwards. So run, melee, jetpack. There you go. And that's how you do it. That is a really, really cool move. And if you upgrade your jetpack, you will actually go farther and faster the more upgrades to your jetpack you have. So you'll notice I do that a lot. I'll do that a lot. That way you just cover ground a lot faster. So we're looking for the dihydrogen, the blue crystals. Let's see over here. And we need to grab a whole bunch of these. So remember, we need 40 total to make one of those jellies. One of the blueprints for our jellies. Look around here. Oh, yeah, we can scan some of these animals. Oh, we already did. So if you've already scanned an animal, you'll see it has a green paw on it. That means you've already scanned it. If you've never scanned it, it'll have a red dot over it like that. That's how you know, okay, that's an unknown animal. I don't know what that is. Green paw means I've done it already. I know what that one is. Let's grab these over here. So yeah, right now we're just collecting materials. See, did I scan this guy? Yep, they have a green paw on them. They're good. Oh, blue crystals. That's what we need. Look, there's all kinds of different... did I scan this little guy right here? I did not. Look at this guy. He's a scary looking dude. What's up with your... Oh, Lord. His mouth is scary. All right, well, let's scan him. Oh, right. That was kind of weird. All right, let's get some more of these blue crystals here. And you don't need all of them, but I always like to pop all of it. I like to mine all of the resource. That way I don't have, like, one left over. That should be enough of the blue crystals, so let's go back to our ship. Oh, God. You will take fall damage, so be aware of that when you do the jetpack jump. That is the biggest danger you get. Is if you fall too far, you'll hit the ground and get some damage. Get back in our ship. You don't need to, but the ship provides you protection. You see how my... hazard protection over on the left. You see how it's growing back to normal? So yeah, anytime you're inside or you're sheltered from the elements, it'll recharge back your hazard protection. So we have our metal plating, so we can fix this one piece over here. We don't have our hermetic seal. We don't know how to do that, so we'll come back. Wait a minute. Iteration long number. Functional. Starship critically damaged. Vital ingredients missing. Unable to synthesize required component. Pulse engine requires hermetic seal. Well, yeah, we need help. How do we find that? Recommendation. Iteration comparison. Comparison reveals hermetic seal nearby. Salvage planetary chart from a distressed beacon cache. So, there's a hermetic seal nearby. We have to find it. So let's get out. It's going to mark the beacon again. There's something in this beacon. Let's see. I peer inside the beacon's housing, as well as its distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. Well, let's take the chart. And now we need to open up our menu, our inventory, to look at the chart. And it'll be highlighted. You see how it's blinking there? And it says it's a map of a nearby planet. The coordinates of a distress signal have been marked. Select the map and use plot route to pin the location in your exosuit display. So, basically, we need to activate this chart, and it will mark the nearby location that it's meant for. In this case, it's going to mark your hermetic seal. So if you're on Xbox, you press X. If you're on PlayStation, you press square, and it'll actually activate the chart. If you're on PC, you need to... oh, no. It won't even do it. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let's do that. Boom. I don't know what you need to press for PC. Again, I usually play with a controller. So now mark the location. There it is. There's our hermetic seal over there. So before we go on this journey, I will warn you, it's going to get really, really hazardous. So make sure you've picked up either a lot of sodium, the yellow plants, or make some batteries. We have batteries here, but you also have the blueprint for a battery. We need cobalt. Remember the cave rocks that we were mining, the cave stones? They gave us cobalt. We need cobalt. We need 10. And ferrite dust from the regular rocks. We need 5. In order to make one. So if you highlight it and it'll say, hey, you want to build it, press A. Or if you hit your left and right bumpers, or R1 and L1, you can make more than one. Like in this case, we're making 10, which needs 100 cobalt and 50 ferrite. Or let's go all the way to the max. Let's see how much we can get. All right, we can make up to 18 because it takes 180 cobalt and then 90 ferrite dust. That's the most we can make. So we have some batteries. We should be okay. And also, I like to organize my inventory. You could do it however you'd like. I like to kind of place objects where I know they are. Because, like, if I'm in an emergency and I just pull up my inventory, I know my ferrite dust is always in there in the bottom left. My carbon and my condensed carbon are right here, right next to my ferrite dust. So I can just, without even looking really, like without really paying attention, I can see, okay, I have this, I have that, I have this. So that's why I always place it in the same spots. You can do whatever you want. I like having mine organized. All right, so let's head off. We need to go get that hermetic seal. So let's do that. And along the way, of course, let's get some more materials. Always, it's in your best interest to get as many materials as you possibly can, because it always helps you later on. And none of this expires. It's not like if you hold onto it for long enough, it'll disappear or anything like that. It'll just sit in your inventory. So highly recommend always having it just in case. Oh, you see that's a special rock. It is it's a pure ferrite rock, but it needs an advanced mining laser. So we need an upgrade for our multi-tool before we can take that one out. So we're going to have to ignore that, but we can also scan it, though, and make some money. So we have to ignore that one. Once we get upgrades for our multi-tool, we'll be able to really go after that. Up. And so this is what happens. On a planet, you will randomly get storms happening, and most planets have it. Every once in a while, you'll run into what's called a paradise planet, and they do not have any storms. But 9 times out of 10, you'll land on a regular planet and it will have storms. Like I'm on a cold planet, so blizzards happen. If you're on a hot planet, you get what's called a heat storm, which is a really rainy, hot rain. If you're on a radiation planet, you'll get a radiation storm, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we have a blizzard happening here. Let's run. So during a blizzard, your hazard protection drains even faster than normal because it's extreme weather. So you want to make sure to have a battery or sodium. Remember, we have sodium. So as we're going along, our hazard protection is getting really low. So press down on your D-pad to get into your quick menu, recharge, and go over to your hazard protection. And you'll notice we can use our sodium, the yellow plants, or we made some batteries. Let's use a battery because that's what it's for, right? So it recharged our hazard protection. So we still have a lot of time left over. But we're still in the middle of a storm, so it's going to drain. It's going to keep draining really quickly. So let's make our way over there. Here's a deposit. This is copper, so we need a special upgrade for this as well. We need a terrain manipulator. We'll get that later on. Don't worry about it. What we're doing is we're heading over towards this building over here that has our hermetic seal. And it looks like there's a crashed freighter over there. So there's random buildings spread out all across the planets in No Man's Sky. And they're randomly placed. So look at that. There is a huge freighter right behind our little shelter here. Up, rep and charge depleted. Let's upgrade. Let's recharge that. Get some more materials here. Go, go, go. Oh, we have a rock we didn't scan yet. Oh, we have one of these broken machines. Let's open this up. And again, you can trash this. You can keep it. You know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to show you guys what you can do with that. So we'll keep it. We'll put it in our backpack. And what did we get out of there? We got nanites, more of the rare money. So every once in a while, you might get a rare object, like a technology upgrade out of those broken machines. It's not a normal thing. Most of the time, you're just going to get money out of it, you know, nanites. But every once in a while, you'll get some upgrades, like a random upgrade for your ship or your suit. Oh, storm is clearing just as we get here. That's kind of a tutorial thing. Like, oh, we need to make sure you know that there are storms here. So there you go. So, oh, we have another broken machine here, but we have some buildings here. We have a shelter. Let's open up this damaged machine. Get rid of that junk. And we got more nanites. But let's go inside. This is the one that has it, right? Yep, it has a marker on it. And then we need to look around. Oh, we have this machine here. Research specimen. That's not it. All right, this machine, the Hollow Archive. Accessing archive. 6 of 7 logs corrupted, so we only have 1 log. Entry 4924A follows. No one. Making this record in case. I'm leaving behind something in the fabricator. It might be of some use. Visor is damaged. Can't find my ship. And that's it. Okay, so someone was here. They had a really bad time. Their visor was broken. God, okay. Let's recover the supplies. The log finishes and the machine whirls to life, spitting out supplies. I have the hermetic seal I need to repair my ship. Whoever it was that led me here, whoever left this message, perhaps they found themselves in the same situation that I do now. So someone else was in trouble and they left me a hermetic seal. And not only that, I got the blueprint for it. So now if you go back into your menu, into your inventory, now we have a crafting product. We know how we can make another hermetic seal. So basically, if you find another crashed ship, because they're all over the place, you can fix it. Now we can make our own, which is really, really cool. But we have our hermetic seal now. Let's take it back to our ship and install that. So, where's our ship? Over there, you see there's a marker there. That marker will not be there if your visor is broken still. So you need to make sure at this point, if you have not done it already, make sure you install a visor at this point. You need this because that visor will show you the location of your ship and any other important things. So let's head on back to our ship. And as always, oh yeah, we can't get our sodium nitrate. Again, we need the yellow crystals. We need an advanced mining laser. So we need upgrades for our equipment before we start getting the more advanced stuff. But we can get these little oxygen plants. We can pick those and get a whole bunch of oxygen from them. So yeah, of course we're going to do that. Open up these boxes as well. Get some cool stuff out of them, I'm hoping. We're getting some good stuff out of here. Good, good, good. Doing our jetpack jump. Again, it's going to be hard at first because you have to get the timing down. But once you do, it's really, really easy. And, again, when you get those upgrades, it's going to be ridiculous. You'll have way better jumps. Your jetpack will last even longer. And you'll be able to go way faster with all that stuff. Right now, we just have a jetpack and that's it. We have no upgrades whatsoever. It's literally just a jetpack and that's it. So you can get a lot of upgrades to make it go faster. Getting some carbon. There we go. Got to get our plants. Get all our blue crystals because we used up all of them to fix our ship. So I want to replace all that materials I used. Let's go. Oh, got a whole bunch. Yeah, they're all over the place. So if you just run around for a few minutes, you can collect a ton of materials and make sure you're set up for the, for the foreseeable future. Oh, fell too far. Took a little damage. It's not that bad. You take a little bit of damage. The problem is, if you do that while you're running away from an enemy that's trying to kill you, that will basically magnify because they'll be shooting you and you'll be taking damage from the ground. So you don't want to do that too much. Get a whole bunch of this ferrite dust. And there's our ship. Let's get some more carbon while we're here. Oh, we have our blue or red crystals down here. If you hover over it, condensed carbon. Yeah, we'll take that. That's a really hard thing to find, so we're getting a whole bunch of it. Nice. All right, so let's get back in our ship and let's fix it. So we got our hermetic seal that goes for your pulse engine. Let's put it in there. Now our engine is fixed, but our launch thruster is not fixed. That needs help. So we need to make pure ferrite and dihydrogen jelly. So we know how to make a dihydrogen jelly. Go in here. It'll highlight the blueprint you need, the recipe you need. We need 40 of those blue crystals, and we have it. Thank God. All right, so let's install that, or let's create that jelly. And so now we've made that. Let's go back to our ship, and so we have our jelly that we can put in there. Beautiful. But we need the other part. We need the pure ferrite, but we don't have that, and we can't get it. Remember, we got that rock? That rock we were not able to destroy because we need an advanced mining beam. But you can refine stuff, so advanced materials required. we need to make a refiner. So, in order to make a refiner, press up on your D-pad, and that is your crafting. This is where you learn all of your building materials. So we have a portable refiner, but we need metal plating and oxygen. So we need to make a metal plating before we can build a refiner. Let's build that metal plating. We need 50 ferrite dust. Let's do it. So now we have it. We're done. So now let's go back into our build menu, up on the D-pad again, and then select your refiner. And now we can place it wherever we'd like. So if you're building like a base, for instance, you can place this wherever you'd like. We're not building a base. We're just going to slap this down right now. It's not permanent. Don't worry about it. So once you place it down, if you need to, like if you put it in the wrong spot, hold down the right thumbstick, click it in, and it'll pick it up. And it's all like brand new. You don't have to worry about it. So now I have a refiner in my inventory. So if I want to pull it down, it just says I have one of one. And I can put it down again. And so you're able to pick it up and put it down wherever you'd like. So don't do what I do. I'll refine stuff, and then I'll jump in my ship and I'll leave, and I'll forget my refiner here. That is easily done. Don't worry about it if you do. You can always make another one, but it's more cost effective to just pick it up and take it with you. So I would highly recommend taking it with you. Now, in order to refine anything, you need to make sure there's fuel in here first. And you either can use carbon or condensed carbon. If you want to, I would always suggest using carbon, because when you destroy it, when you pick it back up, you get whatever's back, whatever material you get back. And so carbon is a very basic material. It's easy to use, easy to put in there. And now, in order to get pure ferrite, we need to refine ferrite dust. So all these materials will actually refine into a more advanced item. So if I put in carbon, it'll actually make condensed carbon because it's a refined version of carbon. If I want to put in cobalt, it'll actually make ionized cobalt. That is a condensed version of cobalt. But what we need is, we need ferrite dust. So put that in there. And it tells me, okay, I put 822 in. I will make 822, and it's going to take me 1 minute and 38 seconds to refine it all. Let's start it. So you can hit begin or hold down X if you're on Xbox, square if you're on PlayStation. And look at it. Look how fast it's going. But we don't need that much, right? We only need 50. So what you want to do is once it gets there, press stop, and you're done. So now I've made all that much. Now, the other way to do that is only put in what you need. So if I need 50 ferrite dust, or pure ferrite, I would put in just 46, and I'll get 46 out. Just put in the number you want instead of hitting stop. You can do that as well if you'd like. I'm going to pick it up. And look at it. It gives me back all my carbon I put in there and my ferrite dust that I left in there. So let's fix our ship. Now we have the pure ferrite. That's all we need. We are fully repaired. So now we can leave. We can leave the planet. But before we do, I'm going to call it there. Hopefully you guys liked the introduction, the new playthrough to No Man's Sky, the beginner's guide. If you did, hit that like button, and in the next episode, we are going to take off. We're going to leave this planet, and we're going to start following what's going on with the storyline in No Man's Sky. So I will see you guys next time.